is embarrassing, but
All
I
right.
gotta tell my story.
Talk to us.
So I've been seeing this guy off and on for 17 years.
Okay.
More off than on.
All right.
But we stayed in contact. Let me explain. So the entire time that I was married, he and I had no type of relationship at all. He respected the boundaries within my marriage. He would text me every now and again and say, hey, just making sure you're okay and things like that. Most of the time I would never respond to him, and majority of the time he was blocked because he's always been disrespectful but obsessed.
Hey, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Motivation Nation, it's your host, Air Gordon. Hey, listen, I've been sent a video. We've been told that's a doozy, and they say they want our reaction and they want our comments. So, with no further ado, we're about to get into the content. Thinking caps on sale. Link in the description, pinned to the top of the chat. Let's get into the content.
This is embarrassing, but
All
I
right.
gotta tell my story.
Talk to us.
So I've been seeing this guy off and on for 17 years.
Okay.
More off than on.
All right.
But we stayed in contact. Let me explain. So the entire time that I was married, he and I had no type of relationship at all. He respected the boundaries within my marriage. He would text me every now and again and say, hey, just making sure you're okay and things like that. Most of the time I would never respond to him, and majority of the time he was blocked because he's always been disrespectful but obsessed.
Okay, so all right, let's make sure we got this straight so far, because it's already not making sense to me. So you were married, but you had an off and on relationship with a guy for 17 years who you say respected your marriage, but you had to block him because he was disrespectful and obsessive. He would send you text messages that you wouldn't respond to, but you guys were off and on for 17 years. Okay, I'm just making sure I know everything to make sure we're following what's going on, because it's already not making no sense to me. Because what I'm thinking, what I'm hearing, based on what you said within 40 seconds of listening at you, this is a guy you've been cheating on your husband with, which it could be the reason why you're getting a divorce. But I know you're going to say that I'm reaching and I don't know the whole story and I can't make that type of call. But just on the surface, 40 seconds in, that's what I got. I can only tell you what I heard and interpreted from what you just said. But anyway, let's let her continue. Leave your comments. Let me know what you guys think.
It's a bad attitude problem. So I go through a separation and I'm like, hey,
of course you did.
I'm going through a separation. It's likely going to end in a divorce.
You're telling him
These
this.
are the things that I expect. These are the things that I like. These are the things that I don't like. And he shared the same information.
Okay, so you're going through a divorce with your husband, and now you're sharing with this guy that you've been off and on with for 17 years the things you like, you don't like, and what your expectations are. So it sounds to me like you were monkey barring your husband. You were trying to leave your husband and set up your next situation. So once you fully left your husband, you were completely already into a new situation with this off and on friend that was disrespectful and respectful at the same time for the past 17 years. But anyway, let's let her continue.
Me. But mind y'all, this is 17 years I've been knowing him. Like, I've known him for a long time. So anyway, I asked him to bring me some flowers. He asked to come over one night, and I was like, yeah, you can come over, but can you please bring some flowers?
Why?
I had gotten some flowers for Mother's Day, and typically I do not like flowers. For some reason, it's like a loss or something. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like when the flowers
you're losing your husband.
You got to replace them. The beauty is gone, and I don't know why. I just never really liked receiving flowers as a gift. But my mom had got me some for Mother's Day, and I thought they were beautiful. They smelled good, and I wanted to start keeping fresh flowers in my house. So he said he was on his way to my house, and I was like, okay, well, can you stop by the store and get me a bouquet of flowers? And he was like, the store not open. So I was like, the store is open. The store don't close until like 10 or 11 o'clock, whatever. It was plenty of time for him to stop by the store, and he was like, nah, I'm gonna get the flowers tomorrow. So I was like, okay, tomorrow came and went. I did not remind him about the flowers the next day, but I reminded him multiple times over the last several months.
Okay, so now let's make a few implications here based on what she said. He came over. The next day came. She never brought up the flowers. So did he end up coming over and spending the night? Did he end up coming over and you guys, and now you're having an expectation of flowers because you are now allowing him your flowers? Is that what we are? I don't know. But let's just let her keep talking.
And every time it would be a different excuse, like, you know what, I'm not able to stop by the store. I don't know what kind of flowers you like. Da da da. It's too complicated. Oh my God, you need flowers. I didn't say any red roses. I just said some flowers so I can put in my vase that my mama got me for Mother's Day. Can I get my own flowers? Absolutely. I have purchased my own flowers.
Go get them then.
But it wasn't the point of the flowers itself. It was the fact that how dare you have the audacity to ask to spend time with me when you can't even buy me no fucking flowers. Y'all, it took everything in me. And you know what? I kept record of it. I kept saying, okay, I asked him to bring the flowers. He didn't surprise me. He didn't do nothing with no goddamn flowers. He ain't do nothing. He ain't even bring me a single flower. He ain't even bring me no weed out the yard. He ain't did nothing with no damn flowers. And that's all I have asked this man for is some literal flowers. That's all I have asked him for. Y'all,
I doubt
do
that.
y'all know this man had the audacity? I reached my breaking point. I reached that was it for me. So he texted me one day and was like, hey, can I come over? I said, no, I've been asking you for some flowers for a long time. But also, let me tell y'all this too. So during the time that I was going through my separation, I was like, look, I am going to be single. Because I told y'all before, if y'all caught me on my live, I told y'all, I give full disclosure. I am single. Don't be trying to clock me. Don't be over here trying to fall in love.
What?
Don't get mad if you see me out on a date. Don't question me. Don't do none of that shit with me, baby, because I ain't the one.
Wait a minute. Do you see this lady has twisted logic? This is what it's like talking to somebody who has well, you have to remove logic and reason to even have a conversation with him. So you're saying now that don't ask you nothing, and don't have no expectations from you, but then you turn around and have expectations of this man to bring you flowers. Unbelievable. This is unreal. This is unreal, man. Let's let her continue.
So anyway, I had told him, don't ask me nothing about nothing. You know, I'm single, and until my husband finds me, my next husband finds me.
You had a husband.
I'm not going to ask you no questions, and you don't be trying to clock me. I had made it very clear, y'all. Do you know the first time I did not answer my phone, this man went crazy, and yes, I was on a fucking date.
So you say don't clock you. But you're clocking him about some flowers, and you've been clocking him about some flowers for months. He's been coming over to your house, acting as a plumber, but now you're upset with him over some flowers, and you're saying this is your breaking point. Man, this makes no sense. This makes no sense. So you want this man to make an investment in you, and you told him that you are going to be doing what you want to do when you want to do it, and he needs to accept that. So why would he bring you flowers and make an investment in you, ma'am? Tell me how that makes sense. He's going to use you for what you're allowing him to do to you, and he's going to take that until the well runs dry. He's not about to invest flowers and time and money and all of this stuff into you, and you're telling him that you're going to be on a date. Don't clock him. Don't clock you. You single. You doing you. And he call you on another date with another man, but you steady worried about this man sending you flowers. This is what I'm saying about talking to people that's illogical and irrational. They can't think straight, and then you get on the internet and tell this story and act as though you making sense. Like y'all see what I'm saying, don't you? Don't it make sense? No, ma'am, this makes no sense.
And you know what I said? I told you not to question me.
Well, don't question him.
Asking me where I'm at, what I'm doing.
Don't ask him my flowers.
Been on a date and da, 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 da. Like, why are you questioning me? And you did not bring me my flowers. Like the audacity. So fast forward, a couple of weeks or whatever. He like, oh, can I come over? I'm like, no, because you did not get me my flowers. Y'all, it hurt me so bad to have to stand on business. Like, this is somebody that a long time relationship, even during the platonic times,
Ah,
it's
there we go.
always
There we
been
go.
love.
There we go. See? There you go. A long time relationship, even through the platonic times. So that means that there were times where it was not platonic. So again, we're going to go back to my original statement within the first 40 seconds of the conversation. It sounds to me like she was cheating with this guy the entire time that she was married, which has now led to her divorce. Now, again, like I said, I know they'll say, you don't know that wasn't that and this, that, and the third, and da. But this lady doesn't come across as the type of person that's going to take accountability for what she's done just based on what she's saying. I don't know her from a can of paint. I can only go on what I'm listening at here. And accountability is not in her tool belt. Sorry. It's just not there. It's just not. So let's let her continue.
And primarily respect. Like I said, even though he got an attitude problem. So fast forward, he was like, oh, can I come over? And I was like, nah, you're not coming over here. No, don't ride past my house. I already warned you. And I let this go on for several months. I was playing a game too.
Playing a
Y'all
game.
know I blocked that man. He waited a couple weeks. He started emailing me, texting me from an email address. So I'm like, look, at the end of the day, my decision, my mind is already made up. I gave you ample opportunity to do something small, like flowers, bro. Flowers, $8.99. They be on sale. Anyway, y'all. So of course he basically was, like, I didn't understand what you meant and I didn't understand the value. No, you did understand because I made it clear, y'all. I have effective communication. I try to have effective communication as much as possible. I've been through too much these last couple of months, y'all, between the car accident, just crazy stuff happening, y'all. I'm still not fully healed from my car accident, and you really just couldn't even bring me no flowers, but you want my time. Y'all, I had to cut him off, and it felt crazy, like cutting him off, but it was cold turkey, like no contact. This is not what time it is. I gave you plenty of chances, plenty of opportunity. Then he gonna tell me, y'all, he was like, oh, I said, you never gave me my flowers, like literally. And he was like, oh, that's because I didn't know your address. How you don't know my fucking address? How you don't know my address? When you know my...
He know how to get there, man. He know how to get to your house. He know how to get there when you call. Okay? That's how he don't know your address.
Address. Just lying, making up excuses, thinking it was gonna be funny, like that was gonna be some type of acceptable answer. And even if you didn't know my address, you could have looked it up on Google Maps. You could have, you know what I'm saying? You know the street that I live on. You know my neighborhood. You know exactly where I live. You know my goddamn address. Like, please. And I'm like, you taking it as a joke, and I'm being very serious. Like, I'm being serious that at the end of the day, no, baby, I'm not tolerating that. I'm restricting access all 2026. Y'all are not gonna play.
But you've tolerated it for 17 years, though, ma'am. Come on. You've tolerated it for 17 years, and now all of a sudden you taking a stance and you expect us to believe that? You're enjoying this man chasing you because you've apparently been chasing him and been into him for these past 17 years. And so now him showing you a little bit of affection and attention, especially now that you are in the middle of the divorce and it's not finalized. This is the type of attention that you need to boost your confidence and your morale. So this is a classic example of nonsense.
Me. I'm not allowing no man to play with me, y'all. Those days are over. Like, mm-mm. You're talking about, oh, I didn't know any better. I didn't know it was that big of a deal. I didn't think you was serious about it. What you mean you didn't think I was serious about it? I was very clear, on numerous occasions. I just decided to cut you off cold turkey one day, and it was the decision that I made that day. Like, you blocked. You think you're supposed to have access to me when I ask you for the simple, and there's people out here who are willing to do whatever, whenever for me, but I ask you for something simple and you cannot do it? Absolutely not. This is in.
Hey man, listen. I'm not gonna hold. I'm not gonna go any further with this. Y'all saw what I saw. You heard what I heard. This is the classic case of flat out delusion. You've been with a guy for 17 years during your marriage, and now you come out and say that you're a single woman and don't ask you anything, don't have any expectations of you, and then you turn around and start to have a higher expectation of the man that you've been dealing with for the past 17 years, that he has been able to get away with what he's been able to get away with, and now you're trying to raise the stakes and making it look like he's the problem. I suggest you take a look in the mirror, do some soul searching, and try and find yourself, know who you are, and introduce logic into your life. And things will get a lot better. But that's it for this video, guys. Leave your comments. Let me know your thoughts on this. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Out.